Hey guys, Mark from Northeast Bass Fishing. How you doing? Well, I had a a subscriber request for a video on the Whopper Plopper, and now there are other. Berkeley has the Chapo. I have some custom ones here from Pete from Stillman and Son Lures, but everybody who was fishing when the craze of the Whopper Plopper became a thing, I'm sure has some of these now. I'm not going to remember some of these colors I have, but I thought I'd just show you what I got and talk about how I throw it and things like that. But if you guys have never seen the Whopper Plop before, now that's the big size, the 190, and that's that loon color. I think I bought this for a night tournament years ago, but this is the 190 floater. So that's a big bait. I think I threw this the night of that tournament. I don't know if I've thrown it since, to be honest with you. So if you're looking at the real big one, that's the 190. That's a big bait. For you guys who, the history of the Whopper Plopper, Larry Dahlberg was a muskie guy, and he was created this bait and was throwing it around and catching a lot of bass on it. So it became a bass bait. Now, I think probably, as most of you guys would agree with who have thrown it before, the most popular version is the 130, which is the one I throw the most. And I believe both of these are the monkey butt color, and this one is the older one, and it looks a little faded, but it looks like it's pretty much the same, except this one is definitely newer and a little not, but this is the color that I go to, this monkey butt color. I like this one the best. I don't know what it is about this color, but when I first got these and started throwing them around, I just found this color was, in shallow clear water, this thing was just killer. Now, I haven't thrown it as much in recent years. It's kind of one of those things that I kind of fall in favor with and out of favor. Not so much that it doesn't work, but I'm throwing other topwaters. For a while I'm throwing a buzzbait, and for a while I'm throwing like this year I was throwing that horny toad a lot. Sometimes I'm throwing a pop bar a lot. Whatever topwater bait is working for you. I've kind of gotten away from these the last year or so, even though every now and then I'll throw them on just for to see how the fish are reacting to it. But it's kind of like a buzzbait in a way. It has that buzzbait type sound, but you've got big hooks, and then you've got that fish body. So I'm assuming the fish think it's some kind of fish in distress on the surface, and they just want they think it's an easy meal. But there was a year or two when these first came out when they were great. I don't know if fish have maybe gotten used to them, or I may have just, moved on or just gone back to other baits. But as I said, for me, topwater baits kind of, from year to year, there's different ones that seem to work better. But if you've never thrown it before, it's really a cool bait. And you'll hear that plopping across the top as that tail goes. These are not good baits if you've got a lot of weed. If you got a lot of floating weeds, they can be a pain in the neck. This is for throwing over the top of weeds. If you've got clear water, or clear of debris, I should say, this is a really good bait for throwing over top. And I did really well with these, just throwing them up on rocky banks with scattered grass that the hooks couldn't get touch, and it was just fantastic when it first came out. But that's the Whopper Plopper, and that's the monkey butt color. As you can see, that is one that's been out a while. This is a newer one. Ouch. You can see they've got big trebles on there. And this is a river to sea bait, if I didn't say that. I'm going to do my best to kind of show you these colors. I don't know what some of these I don't think they make anymore, because I looked on the river to sea site and they didn't even have it. So I don't know what they called this one. The kind of those tiger markings on it, but it's kind of like a fishy type pattern. So I don't know if that's around anymore. There's that loon color, which is a very popular color. That's in the 130 size. So you see the difference between the 190 and the 130. As I said, I don't really throw the 190 very much, but there's the 130 in the loon color. Let's see. That's the monkey butt. I'm not sure that this is phantom shad. I can't guarantee it. I'm kind of guessing by the pictures of the baits online. But I think that's the phantom shad color. So it's like, I don't even know if they make this color anymore. But to tell you the truth, if you have the monkey butt color and the loon, I don't really know if you really need any more colors, even though there are some white ones that are nice. I think this one is called Pac-Man, I think. I don't know if they make that in the 130 anymore. It's like that gold color. That's a good one too. I like that one. I know it is a good one. It's like that white. It's almost like a sexy shad. Did very well with this one when I first came out. This one seems, the rattle seemed louder on this one than this one. This one, I think, I don't know if they make this one in the 130 anymore. I think this is sooner. I'm not sure. But I always like that with the chartreuse and the blue on there. It's a cool color. And this is a good one too, the perch color. If you want to add to your arsenal, the perch color is always a good option. And then, if you're looking to go a little more finessey, they have the 90 size. Now this, I'll show you the colors first, and we'll talk about how I actually throw it. If you're looking for a little more finessey, the 90, and I think this is the powder color, yeah. Like here's the, but that's the powder color in the 90. And it always says it right on the bottom. I don't know if you guys can see that. It'll say River to Sea, Whopper, Plopper, in the size 90. Not that you would confuse the sizes of any of these. But if you're looking for something a little more finessey, the 90 is a good option sometimes. I've done well with these on occasion. I don't know what this color is. Some kind of a perch type color, but it's different than this perch. So maybe it's a blue, I don't know. I'm not sure if they make this color anymore. I have it down as bluegill, and that's a guess. I assume that's right, but I think it's the bluegill color. Let's see. This is the yellow head color, which is kind of cool. It's got the yellow on there, but the black. Done well with this one. And this, I think, is the chubby color, they call this one. It's kind of like a bait fish pattern. But that's the 90 size. So if you're looking for a little more finessey, that's a way to go. And I do have a few. This is like the 90 size. These are customs. This is from Pete from Stoneman and Son Lures. And he made these for me a couple years ago. Let's see that on there, Stoneman and Son Lures. But that's a cool color. Did very well with these when they first came out. I would imagine Pete can still get these bodies, the 90s. He might even be able to get the 130s. He hasn't made a 130 for me, but that doesn't mean he can't get it. So if you're looking for some custom colors on them, check out Pete from Stoneman and Son Lures. Now, if I'm throwing this big one, I might even go braid with this guy. I might go like 40 or 30 or 40 or heavier braid with this guy with that 190, because this is a big bait. This is a big bait. This is almost like something you want to troll with. But as I said, I don't throw that one that much. Most of the time, I've got the monkey butt color on, and I'm just chucking it. Usually, most of the time, I'm using 20-pound mono. 20-pound mono. You can use braid if you prefer braid. To me, 20-pound mono is fine. It's got a little bit of stretch to it. I don't feel like I need braid when a fish hits this. Now, if I was fishing in Florida or somewhere where there's some monster bass, maybe I would use braid. But for around here in the Northeast, 20-pound mono has never done me wrong with this. When they bite this, they usually get it pretty good. Those two big trebles, you don't lose a lot of fish. So I'm using like one of my flipping sticks, heavy top water, usually a heavy rod, 7.3 or bigger. Usually I go 7.6. Heavy action rod, casting setup, 20-pound, at least 20-pound mono, and you're throwing it out there, and you're throwing it like any other topwater. As I said, if it's a lot of surface weeds, this is not a good bait. It can get frustrating. It's going to get stuck in this guy right here. That I don't know what you call that tail that spins. If they have a name for it, I have no idea. But you get a lot of weed in that if you're throwing it in, heavy cut. If there's a lot of topwater stuff. If you got a clear surface, great. It's great. It's like throwing a buzzbait. Doesn't get gunked gunked up at all with the weeds. I can talk. But I'm looking for, over the top of weed lines, cover in water. It's a good bait for that. It's just like anywhere you would throw a buzz bait or a spook or anything like that. Good option. If I'm throwing the 90, this guy, when I throw this, I throw it on spinning setup. And usually I use 10-pound mono, maybe 12. You could go a little heavier if you like to have a little heavier line for your top water, but I haven't found that I really need much more than 10. But you can go 12. If you want to go heavier, if you want to go braid, you can. If you prefer braid, it's not going to affect the action of the bait. I just kind of with my top water stuff, I prefer, other than frogging, I prefer mono. So spinning setup, 10 or higher mono on this, 10 to 12. If you want to go a little higher, you could. And that's how I throw these little guys, like this one, the Stillman and Son ones. I use spinning stuff for these 90s. But that's it, guys. It's a really cool topwater option. I think maybe it kind of hit its apex there a few years ago when it first came out. It was very popular. I don't really hear people talk about the Whopper Plopper anymore, but it's still a good option. For me last year, I didn't throw the Whopper Plopper much. I was kind of getting a better topwater bite on that horny toe, but that's also a different kind of topwater bite. That's more of a, I can throw that in thick stuff. This is more of an open water topwater option. But that's the Whopper Plopper. It's, as I said, the River to Sea version is the original. It's probably the most popular. I haven't tried the Berkeley Chapo yet. I've heard people that like it. I'm sure it's kind of pretty much the same setup. Maybe I'll get some for next year and try them out, do a little comparison, see how I like them. I'm sure it's a good bait. I'm just kind of haven't gotten into it yet, but if I was going to, if you wanted to really try this next season, now here in the Northeast, our topwater bite season is pretty much over. But next year, if you've never thrown the Whopper Plopper before and you want to add it to your topwater arsenal, go out, get yourself, I would recommend that monkey butt color. I think it's awesome. I think it's the best color that they have. I've always done well with it. Get yourself that loon color, that dark one. That's a good one. And if you want to get the perch one, that's a cool option. And that I Know It color is very cool. So then you can kind of cover all your bases. You've got your white, this is the spot. This is what they're going to see in the bottom of the water. You got white, you've got more of that bait fish look. You've got the black one that'll really show up well. And then you've got your good clear water natural, bait like that monkey. I don't know what it is with this color, but maybe just because I've caught fish in it, I've got confidence in it. But if I was going to get just one, I would start out with that monkey butt color and try it out, see how you like it. But they've got some cool colors. I don't see as many listed on like Tackle Warehouse and Land Big Fish that I used to. They may have narrowed down the colors that they produce. But it's a good bait. And if you want to go a little more finessey, try the 90. Try the 90 on your spinning stuff. You're fishing a small pond, or maybe they're eating smaller bait. And you will catch big fish on this smaller size too. Don't think you're only going to catch small fish. The 90 is very good too for all sizes of bass. So I just I focus on open water, over top of weed lines and rock and things. Along riprap, it's great. If you have a lake that has a dam area, it's great around that riprap around the dam. Even open water. But as I said, if you're fishing a real weedy lake, I would not recommend the Whopper Plopper. Keep it in open water territory. You'll have a lot more success with it. You won't get frustrated because these do catch a lot of weeds. So this is your open water topwater option that I would recommend. So that's it, guys. As I said, I don't see some of these colors still available. Even when I went on the River to Sea site, I didn't see all of them. So you'll have to check it out. But you don't need a ton of colors with this bait. I only use, these 3 or 4 the most. Every now and then I'll throw that perch one on. But, if you go with that monkey butt color, I think you'll be pretty much set. Give it a try. And this color is especially good for me on clear water. Especially good in clear water. And it is kind of that, clear body, which might help. And then it kind of maybe the sun reflects those other colors down into the water a little bit. Don't know. But for whatever reason, that color has been the best for me of all of them. And I think this is on the Tackle Warehouse bestseller list, this guy here. And I think the monkey butt is too. So really, if you wanted to start with 2, if you went with those 2, I think you'd be pretty much set up. You could try your 130s and your 90s if you really want to go crazy and try this big guy. This, I would really beef up my equipment though. This is definitely your heavy 7.5, 7.5, 8-foot rod, heavy. You might want to even go braid with this guy, because this is a big bait. This is a big bait. That has not seen the water since that night tournament, I don't think. But that's it, guys. So any questions, let me know. But topwater fishing, we know how much fun it is. And this is another great option. If you want to just kind of switch it up, I think this is kind of one of those baits that I don't really hear people talk about a lot anymore. So it was so hot for a while and so popular, I think everybody was throwing one. And maybe now, if people are not kind of gone back to, I mean, even myself, going back to the horny toad, a bait I haven't thrown in years, and that was my best topwater bait this year. Going back to something like the Whopper Plopper after fish haven't seen it for a while, could be good again. So if you haven't tried it, give it a shot. It's really got a cool action on top. You'll get some hellacious blow-ups on it, and it's a fun way to fish. It's definitely a fun way to fish. So that's it. So I'll put links, from for the bait. I might even give you the River to Sea link too, if you can check it out, if you want to check it out on there. And they do have silent versions. I only have the ones with the rattle versions. I haven't thrown the silent version. Could be good, I guess. I don't know how much it's going to matter with a bait that's making all that racket across the top, whether it's silent, doesn't have the rattles in it. But sometimes that little difference does help. So it's up to you to, try it out and see how it works. But I just kind of go with the standard version here. So, it's a fun way to fish. Definitely has its time and place. So give it a shot. Give it a shot. And let me know how you guys make out. I know for you guys here in the Northeast, we might not be talking about any topwater fishing for a while. I did go fishing today. Fished for about 4 hours and had 0 bites. 0 bites. I figured I'd try a small lake. I've only fished there once before in the summer. It was very good. A small, shallow lake. Today was a sunny day, very warm. No wind at all, so not a cloud in the sky. Beautiful day to be out on the water. But the fish, it was a nice day to be out on the water. I'll put it that way. The fish were not interested, though. I did not see a sunfish. I did not see a perch. I did not see a bass. I saw nothing alive in the lake except a loon and some ducks. So it's that time of year. When I go out this late in the season, if I catch something, I'm thrilled. I expect it to be tough, and some lakes just aren't really that good this time of year. And I have to learn up here, having only fished the lake one time before. I've never fished it this time of the year. Maybe it's just not a great lake to fish this time of year when that water gets into that 43, 44 degree. There are other ones, I think, with deeper water that would probably work out better for me. But hey, I got out on the water for 4 hours and it was a nice day, so I can't complain. But that's it. Any questions on the Whopper Plopper, the River to Sea Whopper Plopper? Any questions, let me know. I think I pretty much covered it all. But if you have any further questions, let me know. I'll put links to them. You can check them out and stock up for next season if you're here in the Northeast. So please like the video. Please share it. And if you're new to my channel, welcome aboard. Please subscribe. I will see you guys soon on YouTube. Mark out.